Your family is like rich?
We're comfortable.
That is exactly what a super rich person would say.
Because Rachel is Nick's love interest, Eleanor, she's very protective of, here's what our family is built, here's how our family works, this is the family culture, and that's a double-edged sword. And Rachel does have to navigate, how do I deal with a large family, but Eleanor is not helping.
You will never be enough.
She sees, I am doing everything I can to make sure that my boy has the best life that he can possibly have, without ever acknowledging that it's his life.
I met a girl, I fell in love, and I want to marry her. And it can't just be one thing or the other.
She's not a villain, she's an antagonist. That said, her biggest weakness is that she can't see the person in front of her.
This is gold standard.
Man, what a freaking masterpiece.
This movie's so good, guys.
Yes. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
And today we're going to be doing family therapy on the central family of crazy rich Asians, yo.
Oh, Nick and Eleanor?
Nick, his mother Eleanor, and his soon-to-be fiancée Rachel. And man, we're gonna get into some money does stuff to families, guys.
I mean, it's one banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10? Nick tells me you're a professor too. What do you teach?
I teach economics.
And she's brilliant. NYU's youngest faculty member.
Eleanor couldn't care less because there's things to be done with the servants.
Sounds challenging. Are your parents...
If she saw Rachel,
No. Well, my dad actually died before I was born, and my mom didn't even go to college. She actually hardly spoke any English when she immigrated to the United States. But she worked really hard, and she studied, and she earned her real estate license while she was waiting tables to support us. Now she likes to say that she's Flushing's top real estate broker.
Self-made woman. She must be so proud of you.
Well, she knows that I'm passionate about what I do, and she's always wanted that for me.
Pursuing one's passion. How American. Your mother is very open-minded. Not like here, where parents are obsessed with shaping the life of their children.
so many hidden warnings.
Go ahead. I'll be out in a minute. Rachel, it was lovely meeting you.
Thank you, you too. Okay, she hates me.
A minute to warm up and get there.
I have no idea how to make this happen, but I want to see an entire movie that is Meryl Streep's character from Devil Wears Prada facing off against Eleanor from Crazy Rich Asians.
Fight!
Eleanor sacrificed everything we later see for her family. She had dreams. She had passions. But she saw it as duty to support her husband in providing and in pursuing his dreams. And in her mind, that is righteous and right. And listen, to be fair, anyone who makes a sacrifice for people that they love, that is a righteous, that comes from a good place.
Yeah.
The issue is Eleanor sees her way as the only way, and the only way for our family. That Rachel comes from America, they do things very American, you're following your passions, that's great. What that means is you're going to hold my son down because he won't get to follow his. She's got this false dichotomy in her head that it's either or. Therefore, Eleanor, who we see early on, is in many ways a lovely parent, a Bible studier, and that she's in many ways very giving and charitable. When it comes to her family, she has this very protective energy. Again, not a bad thing, but it's misdirected. She perceives Rachel as a threat, when in actuality, Rachel's probably the best thing that could happen to this family in decades. I don't know about you guys, but my social media is filled with different health trends.
Like getting a group massage.
Or the digestive benefits of homemade dumplings.
Or fish guts in your bed for better sleep.
I say we give the algorithm and Radio 1 Asia a rest.
And turn to real healthcare professionals who can help you meet your actual health goals.
And with ZocDoc, it's easy.
You can find doctors that are a great fit for you and instantly book an appointment.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click instantly to book an appointment.
Faster than the news of Nick and Rachel spreading through all of Nick's friends and family.
They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you.
We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty.
From mental health to dental health.
Eye care to skin care and much more.
And when you're searching for a doctor, you can filter for ones who take your insurance.
Are located near you
And who treat basically any condition you're searching for.
fish gut rash.
Probably.
You can also see their actual appointment openings
Choose a time slot that works for you.
and click to instantly book a visit.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking.
Sometimes you can even score same-day appointments.
Since I just moved, I'm going to use ZocDoc to find and book quality doctors near me.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
It's just great seeing you guys all like this. When I was growing up, it was just me and my mom, which I loved, but we didn't really have a big family like this. It's really nice.
I love the little moments in editing that you get of connection between her and Astrid to
Yeah.
build that relationship. They don't have a lot of dialogue.
It's a beautiful ring, Auntie Eleanor. I've never seen anything like it.
Nick's father had it made when he proposed to me.
It's very romantic. How did you guys meet?
Actually, they met at Cambridge. They're both studying law together.
Oh, I didn't know you were a lawyer.
I wasn't. I withdrew from university when we got married. I chose to help my husband run a business and to raise a family. For me,
And
it was a
again,
privilege.
going to
But for
Astrid
you,
to
you may think
see
it's old-fashioned.
her response to this.
It's nice you appreciate this house and us being here together wrapping dumplings. But all this doesn't just happen. It's because we know to put family first instead of chasing one's passion.
Oof.
哦，你们大家都在这儿啊！
Amma.
Such sharp writing.
哦，你
And then the delivery by Michelle Yeoh is just a dagger
哦，
every
你
time.
把 Rachel 也带来了。白天我看你看得更清楚了，你的鼻子长得很好，很有福气。我看看你的脸，过来。长得真好看，清楚了。
You know,
坐吧，坐吧，孙子。
this film speaks to something that I've experienced in real life. I know you have as well.
哎呦，这是你包的饺子吧？怎么包那么难看呢？退步了，嗯？
And again, that connection with Astrid. I love that we don't get to spend a lot of time with Astrid, but she is an important character, and there are really smart filmmaking things you can do to bring her into the story that they do there. But obviously, this scene is a lot more about, you know, Eleanor and Rachel's facing off, and we do get to see a little bit of, like, Amma is maybe not as sweet with Eleanor as she is with everyone else.
Yeah. She's been hard on Eleanor. Like, this is a generational trait to only want the best for my sons and no one could be good enough, which sounds really great when you're like toasting your son, but then when you're actually applying it to mistreat someone that your son loves, it's problematic, especially because Rachel is being nothing but gracious about how beautiful the home is and how she loves seeing this family together. And Eleanor, again, I don't think Eleanor hates Rachel. I think if Rachel were Nick's colleague from work or one of his friends, I think she'd be, you know, very gracious. But because Rachel is Nick's love interest, she's very protective of, here's what our family is built, here's how our family works, this is the family culture, and we've got it just so. But they're not just evil, nasty people. They can be gracious and they can be kind.
Yeah.
But they're extremely protective of their reputation, to the point where the reputation matters more than the people. If you're part of this family, you have to do this, this, and this, and this, because it's all about the family culture and not about, as she's rightly pointed out, we're not about individualism in this family.
I'm afraid that I've been unfair.
Oh, no, you know what? I'm sorry I made an assumption. I didn't mean to offend you.
Not at all. You asked about my ring. The truth is, Nick's father had it made when he wanted to propose to me because Amma wouldn't give him the family ring. I wasn't her first choice. Honestly, I wasn't her second.
Gosh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
I
Feels a
didn't
little
come
like
from
an
the
olive
right
branch.
family. Have the right connections. And Amma thought I would not make an adequate wife to her son.
But she came around, obviously.
Did she?
It took many years. And she had good reason to be concerned. Because I had no idea the work and the sacrifice it would take. There were many days when I wondered if I would ever measure up. But having been through it all, I know this much. You will never be enough.
Ooh.
We should head back. I wouldn't want Nick to worry.
Gosh, dang.
I wouldn't want Nick to worry.
The olive branch is actually a dagger.
Yeah. And Michelle Yeoh, as she has often portrayed on film, is an assassin.
Yeah.
I've always been a huge Michelle Yeoh fan, you know, since I was a kid watching her like Hong Kong action movies. And
Police
stuff.
Story 3, Super Cop.
Super Cop.
So
She's
good.
incredible in it. She's an incredible dramatic actress as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's absolutely incredible in Everything Everywhere All at Once and a bunch
Yeah.
of other films, but this was such an incredible turn for her. And what a fun part to play.
Yeah.
Getting to play that very internal, very calm, very collected, brutally rude person.
I want to know your read on this.
Okay.
Because my read on this is that Eleanor doesn't hate Rachel.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
It feels like if you just watch the scene, like she butted her up so she could hurt her, but I don't think that Eleanor thinks she's hurting Rachel. She sees herself as showing some level of compassion throughout this conversation, even though the last point is very, very pointed.
Right.
And of course, for Rachel, she's absolutely good enough. Eleanor doesn't know her. Eleanor doesn't know what she's capable of, what she's been through, what she can bring to the family. Eleanor's biggest failing is that she has sacrificed so much for so many decades while dealing with a mother-in-law who treated her as if she was never good enough. She's like Abuela in Encanto.
Yeah.
I have built this through my suffering, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let anybody threaten it in any way, shape, or form. So what happens is people who aren't a threat are perceived as one.
I feel like I shouldn't even go to the wedding. You know, it's Colin and Araminta's day. I don't want to cause any drama there. I feel like I should just sit it out. You know, tell Nick I had food poisoning or something.
Don't concede to fascists.
Even familial fashion.
That's bullshit. You're just scared.
I'm not.
There's good therapy here.
Here's what you need to understand, all right? It's not about getting Eleanor to like you. It's about getting her to respect you, all right? Right now, she just thinks you're some, like, undeserving, clueless, gold-digging,
Yeah, I got it.
trashy, unrefined banana. Yellow on the outside and white on the inside.
I know what a banana is.
When in reality, you're like a super sophisticated, smart professor of frickin' game theory. Show her that side of you, you know?
You're right.
Damn straight, I'm right. It's fake land, I'm always right.
Trying to play a game of chicken with me, where she's like coming at me and like thinking I'm gonna swerve like a chicken.
But you can't swerve.
I'm not gonna swerve, not for her.
No, chickens are bitches, dude. You're not a chicken. You gonna roll up to that wedding and you gonna be like, bok bok, bitch.
Bok bok, bitch.
Chickens are bitches. Sorry, Uncle.
What are you doing tonight?
I was gonna go to FedEx or something.
I was gonna go, what a weird way to get out of that scene.
I don't understand how Peik-lin is supposed to be even a remotely Singaporean character. She is so clearly Aquafina from friggin' the Bronx or Jersey or wherever Aquafina's from.
I know, some things never change, right?
So first of all, if I were gonna do family therapy with this family,
Yes.
I would have to acknowledge right up front, I don't understand your wealth culture and I don't understand your racial ethnic culture.
You don't understand 2,000 years of Chinese filial piety?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I love doing this in therapy because I love shifting the power dynamics so it's more on equal footing, and I love to say to people, look, I'm the expert in relationship dynamics. That's why you're here to see me. You're the experts on you, your family, your culture.
Yep.
And I need you to correct me and instruct me and enlighten me. And people love that because they don't like to go to therapy and feel judged.
Right.
And so if they feel like they've got a lot to teach me, it's more of a back and forth, and then we can do some really great work. But the things that she's saying about, it's not about getting her to like you, it's about getting her to respect you. She's treating you like you're going to swerve. She's treating you like you're not enough. She's treating you like you're strong. And this is what bullies do. They intimidate and get you to, lose your spine. And what you need to do is one, stand up and assert yourself, but two, just be confident and own it. And people are afraid to do that because they don't want to cause drama or because they don't want to come in too hot.
Well, and sometimes people are intimidated. I would be intimidated as by Michelle Yeoh.
I know, and she's like 1.5 feet shorter than you.
Oh, dude, I would be so terrified.
She would kick your ass.
If Michelle Yeoh did that to me, I'd just be like, yes, man.
I would extend it even further. You can't control outcomes. It's great if Eleanor loves you. It's great if she respects you. But even if that never happens, the one thing you can control is not letting Eleanor get into your head and get you to not be you.
Right.
Nick loves you for who you are, and it's important for the family to at least see that so they can understand the choice. And again, whether they understand it or not, don't let them change who you are. And then she shows up to the wedding, and I love the way she shows up, just like, I'm here, And then she plays by their rules because she's not loud and brash or aggressive or rude about it. She's just confident, like, I belong here. It's fantastic. Oh no.
One of the things I love about this film is that Singapore is very much a character. And it feels like a warm hug to me. I spent a lot of time in Singapore as a kid.
Rachel，虽然我
I went for a
认识
week,
你的
but I know what
日
you're
子
talking about.
可我看得出来，
It's an amazing
你
place.
是个聪明人。可我不能让你毁了我的孙子跟我的家。
阿嬷.
I'm sorry to tell you, but Rachel has been lying to us about her family and her mother.
What?
No.
Are you talking
I hired a private investigator
Being mistaken,
to look into
not
her
the same thing
past.
as lying.
She said her father passed away
Mom.
in China, but that's not true. Your mother's husband is very much alive. During her marriage, she cheated on him and became pregnant with another man's child. And before he found out, she ran away to America. It's all in here.
You had no right.
He had every right.
You did not.
You're
Do you
lying.
have any idea the scandal this would have caused for Rachel to hide something like this?
She wouldn't have.
Exactly.
We cannot be linked to this sort of family.
Go, Nick.
That look
I don't want any part of your family.
Rachel.
when
不许
Eleanor
追他
turns and
糟
looks
践
at
你自
Rachel.
己，不许动！你要跟他走
Let me
就别
go.
回来。
Rachel.
Nick，全是你的错儿，都是你呀、让他在外头待那么久。
We get a little taste of. See, that last moment is why we don't hate Eleanor.
She would be so hateable. She's such a villain. But you get those little hints from Amma a couple of times in the film, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
she is just trying to deal with that situation.
The issue, of course, is that Eleanor makes a lot of assumptions. And her assumptions are based on the world that she comes from. Again, Eleanor's greatest weakness, because there are fine points to her. She has sacrificed and given so much for her family. She adores her children. She adores the people in her circle, and she will do anything for them. Like, she's not a villain. She's an antagonist.
Correct.
And the film makes you both dislike her and sympathize with her.
Yep.
That said, her biggest weakness is that she can't see the person in front of her. She can't see Rachel for who she really is because she's blinded by assumptions based on her decades of experience in this life.
And beyond that, I mean, obviously this is damaging to her relationship with Rachel, but this is catastrophic for her relationship with Nick.
Yeah, and she doesn't
Right?
see it.
She doesn't see it because she sees, I am doing everything I can to make sure that my boy has the best life that he can possibly have, without ever acknowledging that it's his life. He gets to choose. And this is the toughest thing for me as a parent, is the knowledge that I can do everything in my power to prepare my kids to make good choices, like the choices I would make, because obviously I make good choices. Ultimately, it's up to them, and they get to choose. They get to choose their own life, even if it's things that I think are bad. Sometimes it's things that I know are going to go badly.
Yeah.
It's not my place, and it's not her place, and she is blinded by the sacrifices that she has made, and a little cultural artifact there as well. 2,000 years of Chinese filial piety. You do what your parents tell you to do.
Yeah.
That is very ingrained in the culture.
God forbid we lose the ancient Chinese tradition of guilting your children.
And it's with good intention, but not always with a good result.
Yeah. And I was thinking as you were saying that, I mean, I agree with you, but we're both Western men.
Sure.
You know, like she is right when she talks about what an American idea. But the thing here, and that's why in family therapy, I'd be like, hey guys, these are going to be my biases about parenting and family dynamics because this is where I come from.
Yeah.
Help me to understand where you're coming from. And then we get to a really beautiful thing of, okay, there's what your culture says, there's what my culture says. What's actually healthiest and happiest?
What is working in this relationship right here?
Right. And this is where I would ask Eleanor a very important question. Because Nick, as you said, she just torched her relationship with Nick without realizing it.
Yep.
And once she sees that, and if we were in therapy, I'd have Nick open up about it so she could see it. I would never be able to convince Eleanor that what she's doing is wrong. I wouldn't even try.
No.
The question I would ask is it working?
Bingo.
Because most people will admit it's not. And then we find other solutions.
And what does Rachel, game theorist extraordinaire, do?
Right.
I know Nick told you the truth about my mom. But you didn't like me the second I got here. Why is that?
There is a Hokkien phrase, "gagilang." It means our own kind of people. And you're not our own kind.
Because I'm not rich? Because I didn't go to a British boarding school or I wasn't born into a wealthy family?
You're a foreigner, American, and all Americans think about is their own happiness.
Don't you want Nick to be happy?
It's an illusion. We understand how to build things that last. Something you know nothing about.
A lot of assumptions there.
Yep.
You don't know me.
Exactly.
I know you're not what Nick needs.
How?
Because mother knows best.
Well, he proposed to me yesterday.
Ooh, she didn't see that coming.
Yep.
He said he'd walk away from his family and from you for good.
Real fear settling in there.
Don't worry, I turned him down.
Sigh.
Only a fool folds a winning hand.
There's no winning. You made sure of that. Because if Nick chose me, he would lose his family. And if he chose his family, he might spend the rest of his life resenting you.
Ooh. And Eleanor never thought of that.
Yep. She asked, in a much more dagger-like way, is this working?
So you chose for him.
I'm not leaving because I'm scared. Or because I think I'm not enough. Because maybe for the first time in my life, I know I am. I just love Nick so much. I don't want him to lose his mom again.
Again.
So I just wanted you to know that one day, when he marries another lucky girl who is enough for you,
Not enough for him. For
and
you.
you're playing with your grandkids while the tanhuas are blooming and the birds are chirping, that it was because of me. A poor, raised by a single mother, low-class immigrant. Nobody.
Could have beaten you at any point.
Yeah. And I could have taken your son. And then this shot, the look between the mothers. Oh, so many amazing things happening right here.
That is a masterclass of a scene. It was perfectly written. It was beautifully staged. And I mean, the staging is we have two people sitting at a mahjong table. But again, the montage at the beginning, we're shuffling our pieces around. We're like getting ready on the board. Like, how are we going to play this game? How are we going to fight each other and win, right? Everything in the scene is metaphorically building up to what is happening between these two women who are very calm and very collected and just very small and subtle in everything. Like, because we've seen Eleanor be so calm this entire time, her very slight sit back like that, that's all she does is an earthquake in this movie.
Rachel shows real love here, which is the one thing that Eleanor didn't think she was capable of. Because in Eleanor's mind, real love is sacrifice. And her assumption the entire movie, you're American, Americans are all about their own happiness. Rachel forfeits her own happiness for the person she loves most. And suddenly Eleanor sees, oh, she has exactly what it takes. This is Eleanor realizing Rachel is me. Yeah. She will do whatever is necessary for this family.
Not just is me but better.
Is me, yeah.
She's willing to walk away to not cause him any pain.
Yeah.
Or cause him short-term pain.
And Rachel kind of puts Eleanor in her debt. You have a relationship with your son because of me. Because if it were up to you, either way he chose, you would not.
Yep.
He would either run away with me or he'd stay with the family, but he'd resent you. And I just saved your relationship with your son. And I love you can see on Michelle Yeoh's face, like she realizes that's true.
Yes.
She doesn't want it to be.
Right.
But it's 100% true. And I also have to imagine Eleanor's playing through, this is what I've been doing for decades, but is it right to ask this of somebody?
Right.
This is what was asked of me, and do I really want to put her in that place? And then the nobility of Rachel's mom standing and just looking at Eleanor, not with judgment or scorn or enmity or hatred, just with pride.
Pride in her daughter and understanding of like, boy, you just ate some tough shit.
Broke up with my ex-girl. Here's a number. Psych! That's the wrong number!
And she also knows that the actual circumstances of her sleeping with another man and running away to another country were not as scandalous as they seemed. She was fleeing an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And, you know, and basically faked her own death. Like, she's been through so much shit. Just the nobility of these women. And nobility is not money. In fact, when Rachel brings up earlier, why? Because I'm not like you, I'm not rich. Eleanor kind of balks at it, like, it's not about the money, it's about the nobility. It's about moral superiority or moral uprightness, if you will. And Rachel just made an extremely morally upright play. And Eleanor, again, to Awkwafina's point, can't help but respect it, which is why she gives Nick the ring to give to Rachel. Man, what a freaking masterpiece.
This movie's so good, guys.
Yeah.
We get crap on this channel sometimes that we don't like rom-coms because we're men and we don't understand and blah, blah, blah. No, we fucking love rom-coms. We love them.
Yeah.
I could watch this movie every year for the rest of my life and be thrilled about it.
Yeah.
I don't like bad rom-coms, and Jonathan doesn't like bad relationships. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad rom-coms and there are a lot of bad relationships, even in good rom-coms.
My issue with a lot of romantic movies is unhealthy behavior is portrayed as romantic, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, the drama is so contrived and petty, it makes me not like the characters.
Right. And all of this, the drama feels real.
It's so relatable.
The romantic leads don't act in unhealthy ways towards each other.
No.
There's some misunderstandings and there's whatever, but it's not... Like, it starts with a lie, which is an understandable one.
Yeah.
And he immediately takes accountability and tries to make it right. And then we have the drama of the mother, and we understand why.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense, but it's still dramatic.
It's really brilliant.
The reason we don't get one of these every year is that's hard to do.
So until next time.
She expects me to swerve like a chicken.
Chickens are bitches.
Bok bok, bitch.
And watch movies. Thank you to our patrons who get exclusive, commercial-free director's cuts a day early. This one's going to be long and nice.
Pretty good.
Folks like
Daniel Smith,
McLeod_N64,
Nick Finlay,
Robin,
Tara Wooden.
Thank you. We love you.
Thanks, patrons.
This is gold standard. Don't be shy. Let's talk to her.
I love you.